Okay, in this problem, we're told that the length of a rectangle is 11 centimeters, less than 3 times its width. Its area happens to be 42 square centimeters, and we want to find the dimensions of the rectangle. So what we have to do in here is, we have really two things we don't know, and that is the width and the length. So what we're going to have to do is decide on one of those to be our variable and then try to express the other one in terms of that. And since in this problem we're told that the length, we're given the length here in terms of the width, right? We're given the length in terms of the width. It's best to go ahead and come in here and we'll say that our width is W. And then we take that expression 11 centimeters less, 11 less than 3 times. So less than is reverse subtraction, so we would have 3 times the width, take away 11, and that would be our length. Now at this point we now have expressions for the length and the width. And so now we move on to what the problem says. The area is 42 square centimeters. Well, you need to remember that area is length times width. Area is length times width. So if we take our length, which is 3W minus 11, times our width, which is W, we would get the area of 42 square centimeters. Now I'm going to actually write it with the width first because we're used to the single variables being out front. You could do it either way. When you multiply it out, it'll still be the same. So we have our equation now, W times 3W minus 11 equals 42. And now we set about solving the equation. So we distribute W through. And we see that we have a polynomial equation. So to solve this, we're going to want to get the equation equal to 0 and then factor. So to get it equal to 0, the easiest way would be to subtract off the 42 from both sides. And that will give us the equation. Oops, I made a little mistake in my writing. That was 3W squared minus 11W equals 42. Subtract 42 from both sides. We get 3W squared minus 11W minus 42 equals 0. And unfortunately here we're stuck with the something in front of the squared term that we just can't factor out. So remember, when we are faced with that situation, we have to take the product of the squared term's coefficient and the number term so that we can factor it. So we do 3 times a negative 42, and that would be a negative 126. Okay, and now at this point we need to find things that multiply to be the 126, that when you add them together you get the negative 11. So that's what you're looking for. You may want to pause the video for a moment to see if you can figure that out and to catch up with me. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully at this point in time now you have realized that the two numbers we need are a positive 7 and a negative 18. So we go through, rewrite that as the 11W as 7W minus an 18W. And now we can go through and factor by grouping. And again, you may want to pause the video, try try this on your own for practice. As we take out our common factor here, we have a w we can pull out. That leaves us with 3w plus 7. Bring down the negative sign, and now we have an 18 and a 42. We can actually pull a 6 out of both of those. Actually pull a 6 out of both of those. It's actually a negative 6, so remember that's going to change the sign here and make that plus 7. We can then pull out the 3w plus 7. And now finally we've accomplished the task of factoring it. And at this point we can now go ahead and use our zero factor property to set it equal to 0. Set each one equal to 0. So we have either 3w plus 7 is 0. And if you solve that, you'll get w is a negative 7/3. Or w minus 6 is 0. In which case we get w is equal to 6. Now remember, we're talking about dimensions here. Since talking about a length, you cannot have a negative length. So there's only one answer here that's valid, and that is w equals 6. So now that we know the width, though, we go back to the problem. Problem wanted to know what are the dimensions of the rectangle. So we now know that the width is 6. So we can go over here and write that down. The width is 6. And then we go up here to the 3w minus 11, plug in the 6 to get our length. So 3 times 6 minus 11 would give us a length of 7 centimeters. So we have a width of 6 centimeters and a length of 7 centimeters. Okay, hopefully this example helps you again as you're going through some of these word problems. Sometimes you're given the equation, other times like this we have to use the information to come up with the equation. Alright, good luck.